What's happening, Barb Jones 34345, man? We here on a Thursday. We got Thursday night football tonight. It's almost Christmas, so this is going to be the last episode before Christmas. Um, so I'll see you guys after Christmas, after this episode. The Buzzsprout links on the screen here in case you want to download any of the audio. Just go to that page and you can get the audio of the episode. What's happening, Barb Jones 345, man? Good to see you. Good to see you. We here today. Merry Christmas to everybody. Happy holidays, however you say it. All the social media links are above. The pages are doing well as far as just generating some views. The YouTube got a couple of subscribers. The TikTok does great. So follow the social media you see above if you want to see highlights, or if you just want to have a general discussion. I'm always on there. I'm always on there posting videos, and my followers are real good about responding. So there's a lot of discussion, especially on the TikTok page. But even on the YouTube page, there's starting to be more of a discussion, which is a real good thing. So we're going to talk about basketball and football today. It's actually mostly all just football. The basketball is real short. We're just going to go over the NBA Cup game. You know, the Knicks beat the Spurs. And there's still a whole bunch of there's still a whole bunch of very strong, opinionated opinions about this NBA Cup. I feel a certain way about it because it's just the regular season that they're wrapping in fancy gift wrap. The courts are pretty cool. I do like the way they paint the courts, but it's just the regular season. And they're awarding a trophy and dropping confetti, making hats and shirts that say Cup winner. And I just have a problem with that. Simply because a tournament is supposed to be a tournament of the best 16 teams, East and West, and not every team in the NBA. They put every team in the NBA in this thing. It's not the same as a playoffs, a real playoffs. It's just not the same. It's not as competitive. And so all of the confetti and the hats they have made, like the Knicks really won the championship, that's what is making people angry. Making all the hats and dropping confetti. They offer them a banner, which the Knicks did turn down. The Knicks have come out as an organization and said, we do not want an NBA Cup banner. The last two winners, Lakers and Bucs, have the banner. The Knicks said they don't want the banner. So, I think there's a whole lot of feelings about this on both sides. Some people think it's a great thing, probably the people more associated with making money off of it. But I think the overall sentiment of this is that it's a little overblown. Treating it like a real championship where after the team wins, they interview them like they won the finals and they're wearing hats and dropping confetti. That's a little bit too much for me. And I think that's a little bit too much for a lot of other people because it's getting complaints. The teams that win don't seem like they just don't seem like they care. The teams that have won. I'm trying to turn my phone to actually stop vibrating. Oh well. And the teams that won, when they interview them, they just don't seem like, they're like, okay, cool, we're going to move on. It's not a real championship. That big ass trophy, that's a regular season trophy. So that's all I have to say. I will say I will say that the Knicks look good this year. Nobody else in the East looks like they stand a chance against the Knicks if the Knicks stay healthy. Usually that's Boston. Boston is not healthy unless Tatum comes back in time for the playoffs, which he very well could. Um, Last year, that was the Pacers. The Pacers are the ones who gave everybody problems. That's not going to happen this year. The Pacers are not going to make the playoffs this year. Orlando, you would think, would take the spot of probably the Pacers. Orlando could probably give some teams some problems. Orlando going to beat the Knicks in 4? I don't think so. So in the East, I don't think the Knicks are going to have a problem. I think New York might see their team make it to the finals, whereas the only team that stopped them from doing that last year was the Pacers. So you might get that New York Knicks finals. Now, will they beat OKC? Who knows? But Knicks fans, this is the year for them to see their team in the finals. Nobody is standing in their way. Boston hurt, Indiana hurt. Nobody else is good enough to beat that team. Giannis, if he gets traded to a competitor, and the competitor, it depends, maybe, but no other team is good enough in the East to beat the Knicks. And the Knicks have a straight path to the finals, unless some miraculous trades or injury recoveries happen that stops that. Or if one of them get injured, let's say Brunson gets hurt, then we have a problem. But Knicks have a straight path to the finals in the East. None of them teams are competitive enough to beat the Knicks in 7 games. That's usually Boston giving them that problem. And so unless Tatum comes back right before playoff time, fully healthy and ready to bang, that's not going to happen this time. Moving on. We got football. And just real quick, we got this is basically football. This is basically the 3-4-5 edition football teams who did not make the playoffs, the eliminated teams who are right on the verge. A lot of teams didn't make it, but these were teams that first of all, the Bucs aren't eliminated, but the Bucs have lost like 6 games, or I don't know, the Bucs have lost a crap load of games their past couple games. And so they lost 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The Bucs have lost 5 out of 7. So the Bucs are going to play their way out the damn playoffs here. Now, I will say their last 3 games are the Panthers, the Dolphins, and the Panthers and the Dolphins. So it's Panthers, Dolphins, Panthers. That's 3 games the Bucs can win. Now, this year for the Panthers are different. They are competitive. That Dolphins team is ass. But this year for the Panthers are competitive. And the Panthers are in front of this division. Let's see. Is it a tiebreaker or is it a tie? It looks like a tie. Oh, wait, is it home division? Oh, this looks like a tie to me. I think the Bucs and the Panthers are tied. These last 3 games are extremely important because they play each other. And so the Panthers can beat them. That's not just, the way the Bucs been playing, the Panthers can beat them, especially that defense. So, if the Panthers get 1 win here over the Bucs, I don't know, man. The Bucs can play them. The Bucs had a clear path to the playoffs, and they're playing their way out of it. And the Panthers are playing their way into it. And earlier in the season, I said, well, the Panthers got a tough schedule, but they have a path to the playoffs, and that path is almost coming to fruition. If they beat the Buccaneers, they can make the playoffs. And the Panthers, if this was 2 years ago, people would be like, oh, no big deal, push it. Now the Panthers aren't a pushover anymore. And so the Buccaneers have to be worried about playing the Panthers. They're not going to walk on them anymore. So that's all I'm saying is the Buccaneer fans need to be worried because they done damn near played themselves out of the playoffs. Panthers fans almost played themselves into the playoffs. Win a couple more games, the Panthers are in. Dallas Cowboys eliminated. And this one hurts, especially for Cowboys fans. And first of all, you lost to J.J. McCarthy. So you lost to J.J. McCarthy. You gave up 34 points. So this is just a direct... This is just a direct testament to the Cowboys making their defense worse by getting rid of Parsons. And it was like that all season. Gave up too many points, and the only games you can win are the games where you have to score 40 points. So That's a bad defense. And I would expect the Cowboys to spend every draft pick they have on defense. You don't need no receivers. You got two good ones. You don't need a running back. You got a good one. Your QB is decent. Um, the defense needs to be drafted in all 7 rounds. And I'm not joking at all. That's what needs to happen here, starting with more pass rush, since that's what you basically lost with Parsons. But defense needs to be drafted. You didn't make the playoffs, and as the Cowboys, that's unacceptable. As the Cowboys organization, missing the playoffs is unacceptable, especially with that offense. This defense is what caused the team to miss the playoffs. The offense didn't have great games every game, but the defense was the main culprit here. And so this is unacceptable. The Cowboys should not be missing the playoffs as an organization, and defense needs to be drafted damn near every single draft pick going into this off season. The Vikings, 6-8, it is what it is, but McCarthy's so up and down. You lose a game and look completely terrible, and then win a game and look awesome. So there's some leveling out to do, but beating the Cowboys is a great achievement. So that's a good win. I'm no McCarthy fan. Most of y'all know. But that's a good win. Beating the Cowboys, and the Cowboys should be embarrassed by letting him beat them. Kansas City Chiefs, season done. On top of that, they lost the QB Mahomes to an ACL tear, which is terrible. Get well soon, Mahomes. I don't think Mahomes is going to be back for next season anytime soon. So this could continue for a while. The Chiefs were trending downwards. Last year they made the Super Bowl, they got rolled. They were trending downwards before that. They had trouble putting up points. They can't run the ball. Between them two running backs, Hunt and Pacheco, they can't even get 100 yards a game. They can't run. The whole thing runs around Mahomes being able to hit Kelsey. Kelsey's getting old. He has a girlfriend. I just don't think he's not the same. This team is going to trend downwards. And first of all, they're going to be terrible without Mahomes. Then when Mahomes comes back, they're going to have to figure out a way to get that offense rolling again. The offense can't score. It's not that good. This is not the Chiefs that everybody is used to. This is a different Chiefs team, and they aren't that good. And so they need to figure out, Rashee Rice is great. Worthy has his moments. I think Kelsey's just ready to get out of there. If you ask my opinion, he still has decent games, but he has multiple Super Bowl rings. I think it's just his time to get out of there. Hold on, let me yell at my. Okay, I yelled at my. It's like raining hard outside. That's probably what he's barking at. Raining hard outside. Anyways, the Chiefs season is over, and that's how that goes, bro. I'm sorry, Chiefs fans, but I don't. The sad part is it's not about to get better. It's not like you're about to come into next season and we got a good. Like you're gonna be running a backup QB. The offense wasn't that great to begin with. So it's not about to get a whole lot better for the Chiefs and the Chiefs fans. You might be in for a little long haul here. When Mahomes comes back, that's a start. But who knows how the team's going to be when he gets back. It's just when he was playing, the offense didn't look good. Something's going on. Something with that offense. They need a new offensive coordinator. You probably wonder why I'm even talking about the Raiders and Eagles, and I'm not about to talk about it for long, but I'm talking about it because the Raiders, they fired Chip Kelly, then they moved the other guy, the QB coach, into offensive coordinator, and Pete Carroll says, I trust him, and they come out and score 0 points. So brand new offensive coordinator after firing Kelly, and you come out and score 0 points. Maybe it's Pete Carroll, and I've already said this before, but the Raiders need to let Pete Carroll go after this season. 2 wins, there's nobody, and don't tell me, you need to give him time. Like, come on, man. I've watched Pete Carroll make some real bad decisions. And the offensive coordinator, they said Chip Kelly didn't even know what he was doing. The whole front office, including the coach, just needs rehauled here. This is god awful, and Pete Carroll is out there embarrassing himself being the head of this. And you can't do no worse than 2 wins. You can bring in somebody else to get 2 wins. It doesn't have to be Pete Carroll. Pete Carroll came out here and embarrassed himself this season. And so did Chip Kelly. They said Chip Kelly was calling plays without even understanding what plays he was calling or what was going on. Apparently, that's what the rumor was. And so they switch offensive coordinators and they score 0 points. It's time to tell Pete Carroll to go back home. That's what I'd be telling him. Arch Manning says he's coming back to Texas. Everybody expected this. He didn't have the season to even enter the NFL draft. Not even close. Now, he did look good at the end of Texas season. He did look good at the end of the college season. But, you know, he's 19. He had top 20 stats. He's 19th in TDs, tied 19th. Everything else is above top 20. That's not an NFL QB. He needs to go back and pad these stats and add more to it. He's 28th in yards, 56th in interceptions, 70th, or I'm sorry, 34 in QBR. He needs to go back and do this again and get these numbers up. So everybody agrees that this was a good decision. His grandfather knew that it was a good decision, and that's why he said it earlier. Burb Jones, 345, man. We out of here. It's a rainy day. It is raining on this Thursday, man. It's almost Christmas. Merry Christmas to y'all. Hope y'all have a lovely holiday. I don't got nothing else to say to y'all. Win you some money on some sports. You know, we got some football on Christmas. We usually just have basketball on Christmas, but we got football on Christmas now, thanks to Netflix. So have yourself a no, I'm just kidding. We ain't doing that. Thanks y'all for watching. Follow all the social media for excellent talk and highlights. When I upload the highlights from the video, that's where people discuss all this at. We gone. There's the Buzzsprout again. And all the websites on the Apple Podcast, Spotify, all that. If you just go to this link here in the middle of your screen, it'll take you to those apps and you can download the podcast. It's free, man. We don't charge nobody nothing here unless you pay for like the premium on your... The podcast is free, man. We gone. Have yourself a Merry Christmas.